Turn the tube on late Sunday night. Red clay dust and stadium lights are capping all the gridiron fights. ACC Bytes with highlights in sight. Clemson's roars to Wake's thrill suits. Hokies, hurricanes, and Eagles' dreams. Caught in the rhythm of football streams. Every college team chasing their gleams. From Clemson's roars to Wake's thrill scenes. Hokies, hurricanes, and Eagles' dreams. Caught in the rhythm of football streams. Every college team chasing their gleams. ACC Bytes, the stories unfold. Half an hour's worth of tales told. Fans gather round, strong and bold, waiting for the saga, new and old. Tar Heels and Blue Devils too. All the games and players are new. Slinging pigskin, fighting through the road ahead, a clearer view. In the quiet towns and bustling squares, every score matters, everyone cares. Through the cheers and heartfelt prayers, ACC Bytes shares what's rare. Join us next week to see the show. Win or lose, it ain't lost its glow. Future's unfolding, don't you know? Saturday's magic bound to grow. In the quiet towns and bustling squares, every score matters, everyone cares. Through the cheers and heartfelt prayers, ACC Bytes shares what's rare. Join us next week to see the show. Win or lose, it ain't lost its glow. Future's unfolding, don't you know? Saturday's magic bound to grow.
Welcome in, everybody. It is your host, Chris Joseph, and thank you for joining me for week 2 of ACC Bytes. That's right. Everybody knows I do a show called Sports Bytes. Live on Monday, live on Friday. Reaction Monday, preview Friday. You know, it's a great time on Friday football. And what I've decided to do is the 4 power conferences. I'm going to have 30-minute little quick hitter shows. ACC Bytes, Big 10 Bytes, SEC Bytes, Big 12 Bytes. And what I do is I go over the games that happened the week previously, talk a little bit about the games coming up, big matchups for that conference, and then at the end, I go over my power rankings for that conference to let you know where I think everybody sits. And again, you can follow this on YouTube. The link will be posted. I'm creating a video, and there'll be audio as well. Anywhere that you get your podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, we're all over. Go to Podbean. You can find it on Podbean. Sports Bytes, BYTES. If you're watching, see the socials, follow the socials. I'm very active on TikTok, on Twitter, or X, whatever you want to call it. And really proud to be a part of the College Football Dogs Network, the Dog TV Network. Great podcasters, great writers. It's a lot of stuff that's coming on, and really looking forward to it. But let's go ahead and dive right in to the ACC action that was the week before. And it started on Friday night with a couple of ACC teams playing. SMU, a lot of people had them as like kind of a dark horse maybe, with Preston Stone coming in. Struggled a little bit that first week against Nevada. So you're like, okay, maybe they'll get it back together. Nope. They play BYU, and they lose 18-15. And Preston Stone just doesn't look comfortable right now. BYU 2-1, or SMU 2-1, BYU 2-0. Cougars win 18-15. Big victory for BYU on the road. Duke and Northwestern, a battle of the smart kids, and the guy who, Malik Murphy. I don't know if you ever saw, I've said it before last week. If you look at him when he's walking on the field, he looks like a Madden creative player. I mean, he is absolutely cock diesel, ripped up. I mean, that guy, he looks like a creative player. Couldn't get on the field at Texas for obvious reasons. And I think, now, is he going to flourish at Duke? I don't know. He leads his team to a crazy comeback in double overtime. Duke now 2-0. They beat Northwestern 26. Did you see where they were playing? That's just, it's bad. Bad, 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 bad. Head to Saturday, full slate of games for the ACC. The Miami Hurricanes, coming off the whooping of the Florida Gators, take on the Florida A&M Rattlers, one of the best marching bands in the world. Cam Ward, another great day, 304 yards, 3 touchdowns. Restrepo had 4 catches, 104 yards, and a touchdown. They hammered Florida A&M 56-9. We'll talk about the Hurricanes' next matchup. It's not going to be something I don't think they're going to have much of a problem with the next matchup either. But we'll talk about that when we do the preview looking ahead. But Miami now 2-0, highest ranked ACC team right now, and they look good. I mean, how great would it be to see Nebraska, Miami in the college football play? I love seeing that. I would love to see it. Tennessee took on North Carolina State, and I'm going to tell you this. I'm very disappointed in what I've seen from North Carolina State, especially what I've seen from Grayson McCall. Grayson McCall has played a lot of football. He won a lot of games at Coastal Carolina. He did a very good job of not turning the ball over. Not the case right now for the Wolfpack. They took on a very, very high-paced Tennessee offense. Nico Iamaleava and Dylan Sampson. And I'm going to break down Tennessee. I'm going to get some people on if we do like the SEC show. But Josh Heupel wants to run the football, and he did to a tune of 249 yards, averaging almost 6 yards a carry. Grayson McCall, struggle bus, man. 15-22, had a pick 6. Who was it that had the pick? Will Brooks for Tennessee ran the pick 6 back. But Tennessee looks good, and as an Oklahoma fan, I'm nervous for 2 weeks. That game's been announced a 6:30 kickoff in Norman. Whew. I'm a little nervous. TJ, my boy at the College Football Dogs, if you're listening, your team scares me right now. Your team scares me. Louisville Cardinals, are they the new dark horse in the ACC? They hammer Rich Rod 49-14. That's 2 bad losses back-to-back for Rich Rod and the Jacksonville State Gamecocks. Not looking good. Louisville wins 49-14. Really break it down looking at like some of the team stats. Jacksonville State was 2 of 12 on third down conversions. Louisville had over 610 yards. Tyler Shaw, he won them. Chandler, Arizona always puts out some good athletes. 349 yards, 2 touchdowns. He looked pretty good for the Louisville Cardinals. They continue to roll on. Could they be a dark horse? Well, everybody's Cinderella team they fell in love with Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech traveled up to the Dome, taking on Mr. McCord, and they lose 31-28. I was really impressed with what I saw from Kyle McCord. He played really well. 381 yards, 4 touchdowns. I was like, okay. And then we all know the name Oronde Gadsden, right? His son playing tight end at Syracuse. He had himself a ball game as well. 6 receptions, 93 yards, and 2 touchdowns. That boy could go get it. Syracuse, are they flirting with being possibly a dark horse? We'll definitely see. Clemson, man, I watched that. I kept looking, and it looked like Clemson. That was a cathartic game for them with all the negativity, all the talk about Dabo. You lose the joy. They go out there and absolutely mollywop App State. They scored 56 points in the first half, 35 in the first quarter. Cade Klubnik, I don't know where that came from. Hadn't seen that from him at all. Threw for 5. Rush for another 2. Just 378 yards there. The guy had himself a ball game. Clemson now 1-1. We'll see if they're back. We'll talk about their next opponent coming up. Cincinnati and Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh gets away with a victory, 28-27, brings them up to 2-0. They got a big one this weekend, the backyard brawl, the return of it. I watched a lot of the Cal-Auburn game because Oklahoma playing Auburn in a couple weeks. I'm going down to the game. I wanted to kind of scope them, and man, Peyton Thorne is what Peyton Thorne is. It's what we all thought, right? Cal played really good. I like seeing Fernando Mendoza had a really solid game. I thought, he paced the offense really well for Cal. He was 25 of 36, 233 yards, 2 touchdowns. Peyton Thorne, 14 of 27, 165 yards, 1 touchdown, 4 interceptions. 4. So you know what we say?
Oh, you see this guy? See this guy? Number 1 bullshit guy.
That's right. That's what Auburn fans are talking about with Peyton Thorne right now. Looked absolutely terrible. I mean, they got all high and happy after knocking out Alabama A&M, but Cal came in there. Cal should have won the game last year. Now Auburn's going to take on New Mexico. They lost to New Mexico State last year, but whew. Boston College, they get in the top 25. They beat Duquesne 56-0. The North Carolina Tar Heels, they're 2-0 now, 38-20 over the Charlotte 49ers. Mac Brown has his Tar Heels playing some good football. Virginia Tech bounces back after that surprising loss to Vanderbilt. The Hokies take down Marshall, and that's a little bit of a rivalry because those two schools aren't separated by much as far as distance-wise. But Virginia Tech, a 31-14 victory over the Marshall Thundering Herd. Stanford knocks out Cal Poly 41-7. And Virginia, the Wahoos, come back. They win 31-30 over Wake Forest. But, Hank Bachmeier, he had himself a ball game for the Demon Deacons. He's out there spinning it, right? 403 yards, 1 touchdown. I mean, good for you, but you lost the game. We're going to take a quick timeout. One of our sponsors, Olipop. We'll be right back, and we'll look at the games coming up this week.
Anywhere you wanna go, just pick me up on this road.
Share an Olipop, make a friend. Olipop, high fiber, less sugar.
That's right, guys. Looking for a delicious and healthy soda alternative? Meet Olipop. Packed with prebiotics, plant fiber, botanicals, Olipop supports your digestive health while satisfying your soda cravings. Now, for me as a diabetic, I love it. And I love the grape. I think the grape is the best flavor, but they have flavors like vintage cola, strawberry vanilla, classic root beer. Everyone likes the orange squeeze. You can kind of make like a dreamsicle drink out of it, right? But it's really good. Enjoy the refreshing fizz without the guilt. Choose Olipop, the soda that's good for you. Available at your local grocery store or online at drinkolipop.com, and you can use our code DOGGYPOP, DAWGGYPOP, for a 15% discount. Sip smart, live happy with Olipop. Take a look now at the games coming up this week for the ACC. Right, this is ACC Bytes. Right off the rip, do or die for Mike Norvell. 11 a.m. kick on ESPN at Doak Campbell. Seth Hennigan and the Memphis Tigers come to town. The spread on that game is 6.5. 6.5 with a total of 52.5. I don't know if Florida State can score that many points. I think the Memphis offense is better than the Florida State offense. Would Florida State probably have better athletes on the team? I believe so. But as far as a better football team, right now, I still have to go with Memphis. So it'll be very intriguing to see what happens in this game. It's 11 a.m. kickoff. Florida State by 6.5. I would take Memphis getting the points in this game. Just because I'm not sold on DJ Uyunglele. I'm sorry. I don't think he's the guy. And he continues to prove it. Right? Everybody's seen it. You know what's out there. That game's at 11 o'clock. Another game at 11 o'clock on the ACC Network. Louisiana Tech and North Carolina State. Grayson McCall looking to bounce back. I mean, he's got 422 yards in 2 games on the year with 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Just not having a good year. North Carolina State favored by 21.5, a total of 48. You would like to think that the over would be the play there. I don't know about the 21.5. I might take Louisiana Tech in the 21.5 there. Boston College has a tough one. The Missouri Tigers. They go to Memorial Stadium in Columbia. Brady Cook, Theo Weiss Jr., Luther Burden III. We all know the cast of characters for the Missouri Tigers. And, of course, Eli Drinkwitz, who I think is a buffoon, but that's my opinion. I don't know him. He's a goober. You know, the wrong O'Shea brother. The spread on that game is 17 points in favor of Missouri, a total of 53.5. Boston College does like to run the ball, like to control things. If they do go 3 and out because of how fast Missouri likes to play, it could put them behind. Kind of like I mentioned in the Texas-Michigan game, if Missouri gets a couple scores up, I don't know if Boston College has the firepower to come back. I don't. Because that offense at Missouri is going to be pretty good. I still don't know about their defense, but this will be a good game. That's 11:45 kickoff on the SEC Network. Miami takes on Ball State, 2:30 on the ACC Network. Miami is favored by 36.5, a total of 54.5. I might stay under in that. Well, I don't know. 54.5. I mean, I think Miami can score 40. So even if Ball State scores like 13, you're right there. It's still out. They're very smart, man. The total will probably stay away from Miami by 36.5. I would probably take Ball State getting to 36.5. That's a lot of points, just to cover. I don't mind it. Georgia Tech looks to bounce back against VMI. Haynes King, still playing good football. Just ran into a little bit better executing team, right? They lost to Syracuse. Georgia Tech will take on VMI. West Virginia, Pittsburgh, the backyard brawl. West Virginia favored by 3, a total of 60.5. I would take the over in that game. I'd take the over. West Virginia -3. I don't know what to think about West Virginia yet. I don't put a lot of stock into the Penn State game. I want to see more from this West Virginia offense with Green at quarterback. I think he could play a lot better. But man, the money line on the game is West Virginia -140, Pitt +120. So it's right there. But man, that over, that's a big over, 60.5. I'd probably take the over. I'd probably take the over in that play. Duke and UConn. UConn at 1-1. The Blue Devils at 2-0. Malik Murphy, the quarterback for the Devils. You can get tickets for as low as $11 now, still on sale at that game. Duke favored by 16.5, a total of 47.5, excuse me. I don't know if Duke can blow them out by, almost 3 touchdowns. I would probably take UConn getting the 16.5 there. North Carolina, they've got an easy one taking on North Carolina Central. Should be an easy game for North Carolina. No spread on that because of the different divisions there. Virginia Tech is going on the road to ODU in Norfolk, my hometown where I was born. Norfolk, Virginia, 757. Stand up, baby. Virginia Tech taking on Old Dominion. Old Dominion played South Carolina extremely tough. Virginia Tech favored by 14, a total of 49.5. I would probably take Virginia Tech minus the 14 in that game. I think Virginia Tech probably just too much for ODU. 5:30 on the CW network. Ole Miss, Jackson Dart, and his plethora of points, almost a point a minute kind of offense. They travel to Winston-Salem to take on the Wake Forest Demon Deacons. I think Ole Miss just going to be too much for them. The spread is 23.5. It's a big number there, but I like Mississippi covering that spread. Total of 64.5. I'd probably take the over in that as well. 7 o'clock on the ACC network. Maryland. What do? Crab cakes and football, baby. That's what we do. Maryland travels to Virginia at Scott Stadium in Charlottesville to take on the Cavaliers. Cavaliers at 2-0. Maryland lost that close game to Michigan State. So we'll see how they bounce back. Maryland favored by 2.5, a total of 57. The game's in Charlottesville. I'd probably still go with Maryland minus the 2. I think they could win by a field goal. I do like that. Cal wraps up the night. You got ACC late night action, right? ACC late night action. San Diego State and Cal. I like what I've seen from Mendoza, the quarterback at Cal. I like what I saw from the defense. Cal by 19, the spread, a total of 47.5. I'd probably stay away from the points, the spread, and I would probably play the over in that one at 47.5. Cal can put up some points. San Diego State, you're looking at like a 28-24 game, 28-20 game. You're good to go there. So I like that. But that's the look at what's going on in the ACC this week. Now it's time for our power rankings from the ACC. Here we go. We're going to start from the bottom. My number 16 team, the Florida State Seminoles. I messed up the graphic. I put it 2-0. My bad, yo. They're supposed to be 0-2. Stanford at 1-1. They're number 16. Wake Forest. They're 1-1. I have them at 15. Virginia Tech 1-1 on the year. Number 14. Number 13. The Blue Devils 2-0. Got to see better competition. Pitt at 2-0. They're at number 12. NC State at 1-1. So they're at 11th. That's where I got them ranked. SMU, the Ponies, number 10 in my power rankings, sitting there at 2-1. Then you get to my top end teams, right, in the ACC. Georgia Tech at 2-1. I had them up there in the top 5, but a loss to Syracuse. You're going to come back down. Syracuse is going to go ahead of you in my power rankings because they beat you, right? Georgia Tech at number 9. At number 8, Virginia. The Cavaliers playing really good football. They're at 2-0. We'll see if they can knock off Maryland. And it's funny talking about Maryland and Virginia not being an ACC rival. It's an ACC Big Ten game. Speaking of crazy, Cal. Cal is a Pac-12 team. Now they're in the ACC, traveling a ton. But I like how the Cal Bears played at Jordan-Hare. And what's crazy is, as an Oklahoma fan, I've been talking to people about the game coming up and just how crazy Jordan-Hare is. It didn't bother Cal. It's making me rethink my theory about Jordan-Hare. North Carolina, Mac Brown and the Tar Heels sitting there at 2-0. I've got them at number 5 in my power rankings. Clemson. They still have guys. Whether you like Dabo or not, they still have guys with a chance to get it done. I have them at number 4. Boston College at number 3. Louisville. I think Louisville-Miami just be a fun game to watch. Louisville number 2 at 2-0. And the Miami Hurricanes. See the guy right there, Cam Ward. Cam Ward looking good. I think he's pretty happy that he left the Palouse. Sorry, Troy, if you're listening. But he left old Big Red. Came down to Miami to be part of the U. Always good stuff. But that's my power ranking for the ACC this week. And again, a lot of stuff going on. A lot of articles being written. If you are an ACC fan, check out the collegefootballdogs.com. We have a group of writers that are specifically assigned to the ACC. So no matter what team in the conference you like, or if you're just a conference person and you want to keep up to date with what's going on in the ACC, come to College Football Dogs. Our writers are all members of the FWAA. Goes through a process. We've got guys that do a really good job that are credentialed. I got a guy, Dominic Ambrose. I've had him on the show, right? He was credentialed for the Clemson-Georgia game. We had somebody at the Maryland-Michigan State game. So, we got people all over covering football. So no matter what conference you like, no matter what team you like, if you're looking for just good, quick art, and follow us all on all the socials at the College Football Dogs, Twitter, Reddit. We're very active on Reddit. We love the Reddit interactions. We get some people, that want to say, keyboard tough guy stuff, but it's going to happen when you're posting anything on social media, right? That's going to happen. So, looking forward to it. It's going to be a fun week, moving ahead. Some really big games this weekend. We'll talk about those as we go on the week. And don't forget, Football Friday night live on YouTube. You can follow me at Sports Bytes Podcast. It'll be shared through Facebook. It'll be shared on X. So that way you can catch it. You could also listen to it if you're just driving around. Load it up on your podcast platform. But do me a favor. It would help me out immensely if you guys would go subscribe to the podcast. Doesn't cost you anything. Hit that like button. Put the notifications on so you know when I drop new content. Share it. Let people know. Say, hey, I got a guy here that's covering every conference. You want to talk football? This is where you need to be, Sports Bytes. Now, I will tell you, you got to bring more food back into it. And tonight I'm excited. I'm going back old school. I'm going with the hamburger helper. Some people call me a food snob at times, but sometimes hamburger helper just slaps. With a piece of white bread, whoo, I can't wait. And I'm going to tell you what I put on it. They now sell the Whataburger spicy ketchup. And that spicy ketchup is a game changer. I'm putting that on everything. That or the Wingstop ranch. My wife has been craving the Wingstop chicken tenders with ranch for a couple weeks. So we finally got that Saturday night, a couple cold beers. Got a bunch of tenders for me, for my wife, for the boys. And they got the plain. We got the hot honey rub and the garlic parm on the tendies. But the Wingstop ranch, guys, that's some good stuff. That is some good stuff right there. But again, thank everybody that has supported the Sports Bytes. Thank everybody that supported me. Thank everybody that has supported the college football dogs. There's a lot of stuff coming, so please stay tuned with what's going to happen with the college football dogs in the next year. We're making strides. We're moving ahead. We're creating partnerships with elite football. The Maxwell Football Club, we have a partnership with them. Football Writers Association of America, we have a partnership with them. So it shows you the legitimacy behind it, right? Shows you. Follow us. Come along for the ride. I appreciate you tuning in to ACC Bytes. Throughout the week, stay tuned. You'll get notifications. I think the next one I'm doing is Big 12 Bytes. We'll talk about the Big 12 games that happened in the last weekend. Look ahead to what's going on in the Big 12. Any news from the Big 12, we'll get into that as well. But again, guys, I just want to say thank you. I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to listen to this guy talk sports. Interact with me on social media. Tell me if you like the show. Tell me if you thought I was a moron. If you got recipe ideas, tailgate food ideas, man, hit me up. If you got a bourbon recommendation, I love good bourbon. I got some Elijah Craig Barrel Proof right here. I got a Calumet 15, Booker's. And of course, I know one everybody loves. I got a little E.H. Taylor right here. It's good stuff, right? So if you got a bourbon recommendation, hit me up. Let me know. All right? I love you. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for interacting. Thank you for engaging, everything like that. Remember to always, guys, always positively move forward. Talk to you later.
Thanks for joining us on this delicious journey through the world of sports and food on Sports Bytes. With your host, Chris Joseph. We hope you've enjoyed the game day stories and culinary adventures. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And if you've got any mouth-watering sports-related tales or favorite game day recipes, share them with us on social media. Until next time, remember, it's not just about the game. It's about the bites that make it unforgettable. Stay hungry for more Sports Bytes.